All right, so who am I speaking with here?
I am Jessica Menz.
Hi, Jess. Now we're talking because you have the fight coming up May 18th in Hamburg, and so tell me, do you know who you're fighting?
I know her name, I know her height, and I know her weight. That's about it.
I asked her the same question yesterday, and she said, "I know her height and I know her weight, and that's all I'm concerned with." So what weight is the fight at?
We're fighting at 145.
145. All right. And so tell me, how did you? We'll talk about the fight in a minute, but how did you get into the kickboxing, Muay Thai, however you want to put it? How did you get into this?
So long and short of it was I'm actually a hairdresser. And one of my clients actually had just come home from Thailand after living there for 6 years. And we got to chatting and just normal conversation. And I was like, oh, so what did you move home for? Or what were you doing there? And come to find out she was training Muay Thai. I had always been into more Western style boxing. And she was like, I think you would really love it. So I actually went over about 6 months later and trained in Thailand for 2 weeks and fell in love with it.
Wow. How long have you been training total time?
About 2.5, 3 years.
Okay, very good. You know, because I interviewed your opponent the other day, and she also said she'd been to Thailand. So, and she's been training, like I think a year in karate and then another year in kickboxing. So
Yep.
it looks to me like you both have about the same experience, and it should be a pretty good matchup.
Yeah.
So now you're training, and who says I want to fight? Do you say you want to fight, or is that something your trainer comes up with, or how's that work?
Well, so I think at the beginning it was something that I always kind of like thought, oh, maybe down the road I'd love to do. I am extremely technical. I'm one of those people like I like everything to be perfect, which can be a blessing and a curse at the same time. And finally, my coach that runs the school that I'm at got me hooked up with Nikki at Hellfish and was like, you know what, I think it's time. And Nikki's been my fight coach through this whole thing. And she's like, you're good. We got it. And I don't think she would ever put me in a situation where I couldn't handle myself or where she doesn't think it would be a good idea.
Right, right. And Nikki's a great trainer too. So the school you started with, or the gym that you started with, isn't the gym that you're with now? Is that, am I putting that correctly? Explain it to me.
Well, so I live actually in Easton, so I'm down in the Lehigh Valley, and one of our coaches from Hellfish actually opened up a school like 15 minutes from work. So I actually bounce back and forth between non-Savan Muay Thai, and then I go up and train with Nikki at Hellfish.
Oh, great, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a great recipe. Good,
Yeah.
good. So, I mean, it's your first fight. So, when did you decide you wanted to fight, and how did you feel then? And now that we're about 10 days away, how do you feel now? Has that changed at all for you?
So I kind of put taking on a fight on the back burner for a little while, just because like I said, focus more on like the technical aspect of it. And then once it came time at the beginning, it was kind of one of those things where, again, I kind of just took it day by day, really listened to whatever Nikki told me to do. I figured she's been doing this long enough. She's smart. Having her and Tim in my corner is phenomenal. And pretty much if they tell me to do something, I do what I can to correct it, make it better. So I'm really, really fortunate. And I guess now, 10 days out, I think it's like anything. I'm super excited. It's like, it's almost like waiting for Christmas. Like, what am I going to do when it's done?
Right. Now, are you on weight, or do you have a weight cut coming up? Okay, you're on weight.
I've got about a pound and 1.3 pounds left. I actually lost about 22 pounds leading up to this.
Oh my goodness! Over how long of a span?
12 weeks.
Oh wow! Good. So I mean, here that's that's a 3-month weight loss promotion right there.
Yeah.
So that's great. So you're on weight. So now, what is the training going to be like? Have you discussed this with your trainer between now and the event? I mean, I'm assuming you're not like, let's get some hard sparring in next week or anything like that.
So the guys that I train with up at Hellfish, they definitely don't go easy on me. So I'm really, really fortunate to have that. The week of will probably be a little bit more relaxed, calm down. Definitely giving my body a little bit of the love that it needs. I've been kind of beating myself up, consistently for the last 12 weeks. Now it's been doing a lot of like cryo and stretching and that kind of stuff. So yeah, just kind of getting in still, pad work, perfecting the things that we've been working on, that kind of stuff. So.
When you spar, do you have female sparring partners?
Nope. Other than me, I'm with all guys.
All guys. So do you see that as an advantage or a disadvantage?
They definitely don't go easy on me. So that's one good thing. I wouldn't say that it's a bad. I wouldn't say a disadvantage or an advantage. They're phenomenal. Like they treat me just like I'm one of their own, and I figure that too. Anything that they put me through. I mean, some of them have 30, 40 pounds on me. Some of them have like 6 to 8 inches. So, I mean, getting kicked in the head by some of them is nothing compared to, but I'm like, my husband's like, Jess, it's not you. You've been put through a lot. I've got bruises and whatnot. So yeah, I'm.
Any of your sparring partners you want to call out by name that maybe you've given a black eye or a bloody nose or something that we want?
Honestly, we're really, really good to each other. They honestly have put me through it. I continue to kind of push it back on them too, learning. Because again, some of them have been at this, have had 2 or 3 fights under their belt already. There's 3 guys. I mean, Trey, who's also on the fight card, he's been sparring with me a little bit. Anthony Marasa, who's from our gym, he's been phenomenal. He's such a great cheerleader. He pushes me. We're about the same height. So I figure too, about the same height and 30 pounds heavier. If I can take a hit from him, it's pretty good.
Someone else called him Trey, but that's not his name, right?
Well, now I'm like, oh God, now I hope that's what we call him at the gym.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to think right now. Hoffman's his last name, I think. But somebody said, well, this is a picture of Trey. I'm like, there's no Trey on the card. But yeah, but he is fighting on the card, though.
Yeah.
But all right, so who's coming to the fight with you? I mean, did you tell people, or is this something you're keeping secret, or what?
So originally I really didn't plan on telling anybody. It was kind of one of those things where I was like, all right, I'm going to do this for me. Something I figured I didn't really need to start talking about. And then actually after I saw my fight poster, my husband actually didn't want me to see who my opponent was. And so he actually had like blacked out her face. And now, you know what, forget it. Like, let's just put it out there. It's going to be a good fight. So, I have a lot of my coworkers coming, so I'll have a good cheering stand from that. A couple of my clients, my family will be there, my husband, my stepdaughter. So I'm really excited.
What do you do for a living when you say clients? What do you do Monday morning?
So I'm a hairdresser, actually.
Okay, you did mention that, yeah.
Yep. So I'm a hairdresser, and so that's I typically I would be spending about 80 hours a week in the salon, but Muay Thai has become, important right now. So my bosses have been phenomenal. They support me anytime I've needed to take off. They're totally behind me. They're actually buying tickets even though they're unable to make it. So they're actually going to be raffling off those tickets, which I'm really excited about. Yeah. So I have a really, really great group of people behind me.
So how does that work dynamic work? I mean, are you worried? I mean, is that something that concerns you? Monday morning, I might be going to work with a black eye. I mean, how does that work?
So I had to start telling my clients originally because typically my schedule is a little crazy. So I did have to be very straight with people. There was no, I have a personal matter. It was my life right now. So if I had to, there would be times where I'd be like on the phone with somebody and, doing my client at the same time or eating a meal and doing my clients color, just because I had to do what I had to do. So it wasn't, it wasn't at any point that anybody, I got nervous that anyone was going to know. I think most people are like, please just keep all your limbs intact because I need a haircut come Monday morning. So really, I'm like, all right, I keeping fingers crossed that, no broken bones, but, everybody's been super supportive.
So it sounds like you got a good crowd coming. It sounds like everybody around you has a good understanding. It sounds like you're well prepared. I know you're coming for a good gym. So is there any shout outs or anything else, anybody else you want to thank or anything like that?
Honestly, I can't say enough thank yous to my fight coach, Nikki. She's been fantastic. She's been behind me 110%. She pushes me, when we're working out. She's not my friend. She's my coach. She knows my limits and she pushes me past that. All the guys that I've been sparring with, I can't say thanks enough. Again, they don't go easy on me. They push me to my limit. They've really taught me a lot and made me a better person. And I think to be a female surrounded by a bunch of guys, it can go one of two ways. And Hellfish has an amazing, amazing group of guys that I think that if it wasn't for Nikki and those guys, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. My clients.
That's a great testimonial for Hellfish.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. And really just everyone that's been supportive through the whole thing, through, my husband on nights where I come home and I'm super pumped, or the nights that sometimes I come home and I cry because maybe I didn't have a great workout session for whatever reason. So he's been great of just being an amazing support system. So everyone that I've come across in the past 12 weeks. I can't say thank you enough to all of them.
That's fantastic. One last question.
Yeah.
What do you think? What could you do with this? Huh? Anything?
Well, lucky for you, would you believe that none of this is real? All of this is actually coming out the day before the fight. So.
Oh, is that right?
So
Well, maybe I can borrow it. I'll look good for the fight.
Yep. I'll bring you a good wig. We can put that on for you.
All right, there you go. All right. Well, hey, thank you very much. I look forward to meeting you in person on May 18th. And this is for the KO Cancer. So it's for a good cause. And I don't know if you even know, but a portion of the ticket sales are going to that. And also, if you and your opponent combine to sell the most tickets of any fight, which could happen, you also get a championship belt for winning your fight. So that's all possible.
So her and I really have to push it and sell as many tickets as we can together.
Yeah, stop not telling people, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's time to put it out there. So yeah, anybody who's watching, if you guys need tickets, hit us up, So Thank you so much, Gary. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I'll see you in a few days.
Thanks. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.